right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, the Archdiocese of St. Louis ready to unveil options that will restructure its parishes. The required step parishioners must take before they can hear the proposals.
Weekend warm, and we may be flirting with record high temperatures early next week.
But first tonight, shots fired inside a neighborhood bar leaves a man clinging to life.
Firearms and bars shouldn't be together. Keep your firearms at home.
The latest on the shooter as business owners insist the area is safe. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The shooting happened early this morning. It happened in Soulard. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski joins us live from outside Henry's Bar, which is closed tonight. Never opened at all, right, Laura?
Yeah, Ann and Mike, they did not open their doors at all today, and we haven't seen any of the Henry's Bar employees at all today either. Now, Soulard is Alderman Jack Coder's ward, and he says he hopes people take this as a sign to leave their guns at home when coming out to the bars. St. Louis police say a man in his 20s was shot in the head and stomach just before 1 a.m. inside Henry's Bar Thursday. St. Louis Alderman Jack Coder says this is an isolated incident that rarely happens in Soulard.
It's a tragic situation all around, and I feel for the employees and the owners of that establishment in particular, and I hope they're getting whatever help they need.
And the numbers are there to prove it. Police say there's only been one homicide in the neighborhood this year, and they didn't see any last year. But other crimes have been a problem.
So we've certainly seen an uptick in car thefts and car jackings in particular in Soulard. This was not related, as from everything I've heard, this is not at all related to those crimes.
The owner of another bar, the Great Grizzly Bear, says he's surprised to hear this happen just a block over.
Usually, it's just a couple people that get into a minor argument. Even that, doesn't really happen too often. It's generally a very happy and festive atmosphere. And so while it happens, we have security. Alderman
Coder says this incident, while isolated, is part of a bigger problem the city as a whole is dealing with.
Gun violence in St. Louis is at an epidemic level. I mean, people are unfortunately using guns to solve what should be disputes that in years past didn't get solved with guns, and that's a cultural issue. It's something that's got to change.
Now, Alderman Coder says that he hopes people will still come out to Soulard and wants to reassure everyone that the area is safe, but again, asking them to leave their guns at home. Now, we haven't heard any word on charges or any suspects in custody, and at last check, the person who was injured is still in the hospital in critical condition. Reporting in Soulard, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
New tonight, the city of Pine Lawn is losing its police services because of late payments. This week, the North County Police Cooperative sent a letter to city leaders saying it will not renew its agreement. They say payments from Pine Lawn have been inconsistent and insufficient since the city joined the co-op in 2016. The North County Co-op says it would agree to continue to provide police services month to month on a temporary basis if the city pays on time and in full.
Calling for change. Tonight, the leader of St. Louis Public Schools has a powerful message about gun violence that's been impacting students. The address today from Superintendent Dr. Kelvin Adams comes after 3 students were shot this week in 2 separate incidents. One of them died. Dr. Adams says he's had enough.
It seems that it is commonplace in our city, and despite the meetings, the peace marches, the prayers, the anger, the crying, the proposals, the chest thumping, the head nodding of affirmation and hand wringing, it does not seem to stop. And more importantly, it does not seem to matter much anymore to this community.
SLPS is working on an Educators for Gun Safety initiative to provide resources, gun safety education, and to promote awareness about gun violence in the community.
A St. Louis jury has adjourned for the night in the Tim Norman murder for hire trial. So far, they've deliberated for 15 hours. The St. Louisan featured on the show Welcome to Sweetie Pies is accused of plotting to kill his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr., for insurance money. Today, the jury inquired about phone records, exhibits on testimonies, and evidence from burner phones. 5 on Your Side has been in the courtroom since day one and will be there tomorrow waiting for a verdict. Tonight, a St. Louis County jury found a 22-year-old man guilty of raping 9 girls. Dominic Iocco was convicted on 16 counts of felony sex crimes, including rape and sodomy. Prosecutors say he used social media to lure his victims between November 2016 and August 2018. His youngest victim was 13 years old. Sentencing is set for December 1st.
It's been nearly 2 months since torrential rain caused historic flash flooding in the region, and tonight flood victims in East St. Louis, one of the hardest hit areas, are still waiting for federal help. They shared their frustrations with our Robert Townsend.
July the 26th, that was devastating, traumatizing.
Marcus Harris Pride will never forget that summer day. It's when record-breaking rain flooded his East St. Louis street.
I'm 5'7", so it got up to my neck.
Left cars submerged and caused extensive damage to his home on Terrace Drive.
And it's just been overwhelming. It's taken a mental toll on me.
2 weeks ago, Harris Pride toured his flood-ravaged neighborhood with officials from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. But so far, he hasn't received any disaster relief assistance.
We need some financial assistance, like ASAP, because people are ready to get back to some normalcy.
2 doors down.
Not really optimistic with what FEMA is going to do.
His neighbor, Carol Foots, is a bit discouraged by the seemingly ongoing delays in assistance from the federal government.
This is my home.
Foots' former high school classmate is now helping her with repairs. She also has flood insurance.
It's working. It doesn't cover all the damages.
State officials say nearly 800 homes in St. Clair County sustained minor to major damage due to the floods. 5 homes were destroyed. A FEMA spokesman says on August 30th, the governor submitted a disaster declaration to FEMA. So far, no decision has been made. A FEMA spokesperson tells us all requests will be thoroughly reviewed. Right now, they can't really tell us how long the process will take. Meantime, the flood victims who live in this area say their lives remain in limbo.
I'm going to take it one day at a time.
I'm being patient, but my patience is running out.
Robert Townsend, 5 of your side.
If you are in need of flood assistance, just text the word HELP to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a list of resources.
A St. Louis bank manager has pleaded not guilty to defrauding $175,000 from elderly customers. Andrea Nicole Hopkins was federally indicted last week on 4 counts of bank fraud. According to the indictment, she diverted money from customer accounts while working at the Commerce Bank branch on Natural Bridge Avenue from February 2020 to May 2021. Each count is punishable by up to 30 years in prison and a $1 million fine. Tonight, police are investigating more break-ins at area pot dispensaries. There were 2 in St. Louis County overnight, both at block dispensary locations in Richmond Heights and Valley Park. Someone broke the glass to get inside, but we're told nothing was taken at either location. There have been several break-ins recently at pot dispensaries in the area. In many cases, thieves use stolen Hyundais or Kias to smash into the building. As of tonight, local Catholics can begin signing up for a series of listening sessions. Those sessions are coming as the Archdiocese of St. Louis is preparing to restructure its parishes and its schools. They have these draft proposals ready for the parishes. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon joins us now with a closer look. Brent?
And Mike, it all comes down to this: numbers and impact. Right now, baptisms in the Archdiocese of St. Louis are down. So is enrollment at Catholic schools. So now leaders want to hear from you on how to turn it around. Today, 5 on your side sat down with Archbishop Mitchell Rosinski, who made it clear the local archdiocese must make changes in order to make a more effective impact. That's why he has created a concept called All Things New. That's an initiative to evaluate whether and how to restructure parishes and Catholic schools. The Archdiocese is expected to announce those final plans in May of 2023. But as of now, Catholic leaders say they need to hear from you. The Archdiocese is kicking off 350 listening sessions across our area that will begin next month.
So we're looking at a very broad-based way of consulting with our people and being able to get input so that we can make the best decisions for All Things New and for the Church of St. Louis.
So here's what you need to know. To attend one of those upcoming listening sessions, you have to register first. Sign up. Just open today. So we've placed a link for you to register on ksdk.com. Just click on the As Seen on TV section.
As the Cardinals make a push for the postseason, a luxury apartment complex in Ballpark Village wants to get in on the fun. One Cardinal Way is offering free rent for new residents until the end of the team's postseason run. If you tour the property by September 29th, you'll be registered to win a chance to watch the final regular season game from the 8th floor amenity deck, along with 3 guests.
And as we inch closer to the postseason, Redbird fever is spreading. Ticket prices have skyrocketed. Fans are buying up tickets, hoping to see Albert Pujols hit his 700th career home run. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, the median ticket price soared 62% just in the past 10 days. As for Albert's home runs, he still needs 3 more to hit that 700 mark. Cardinals postseason tickets go on sale tomorrow, and if you're looking to get in on the playoff action, you can text the word CARDS to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link with all the information. Thousands of mourners wait hours to pay their final respects to Queen Elizabeth.
It's a momentous occasion, and I am finding myself feeling more emotional the closer I get.
Tonight, new details on Britain's final farewell to their beloved Queen. Dog fighting issues in the bi-state. Tonight, more than a dozen dogs are still recovering a week after they were rescued. The I-Team looks into a problem much bigger than just this case.
Dry weather into the weekend as we continue our warming trend, and Tropical Storm Fiona heads for the Leeward Islands.
Thousands of mourners waited up to 9 hours in line to pay their final respects to Queen Elizabeth. Britain's longest reigning monarch, who died 1 week ago today, currently lies in state at Westminster Hall. The line of mourners stretched for almost 5 miles, but many said it was worth it.
Because it's someone I've admired over my lifetime, you know.
You can see other people are getting emotional too. You can't not come here and not be emotional.
Tomorrow, King Charles and his siblings will hold a vigil over the Queen's coffin. This is all part of a number of ceremonies leading up to the Queen's funeral on Monday.
Tonight, Buckingham Palace released its final plans for the Queen's funeral. At least 2,000 guests, including President Biden, will attend the ceremony at Westminster Abbey on Monday. Following the funeral, the Queen's coffin will be carried through London on a horse-drawn gun carriage with King Charles and other royals walking behind. The Queen will be laid to rest in the Royal Vault at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. You can watch Queen Elizabeth's funeral live right here on 5 on Your Side. NBC will start coverage at 4:30 Monday morning, and we'll have complete coverage of the Queen's funeral all day long on air, online, and on the 5 on Your Side app. New tonight, an inside look at dog fighting in the bi-state. Our I-Team is focusing on the issue after police busted a dog fighting ring in North St. Louis County last week.
Investigative reporter Christine Byers dug through state rankings on animal safety. She learned why experts fear this problem may never end.
I'm just checking her ears, looking at her teeth, feeling her body. It's more mental. It's what you can't see that is going to be tough on her.
This pit bull is one of the STL-13. It's a name a Missouri rescue group gave the dogs seized from a dog fighting ring in North St. Louis County on September 6th.
She's pretty shut down at this point.
The I-Team caught up with her and 2 other pit bulls at the rescue shelter.
A couple of bite marks here. He's got a nice one on his eye.
The head of the rescue organization is trying to find homes for these dogs. She didn't want us to use her identity.
It's for safety concerns. People are not ones to just give their dogs up and let it go.
Terry Mills says she has good reason to be afraid.
These dog fighters obviously do consider these dogs valuable and will do whatever they can to get them back.
Mills should know. He spent more than a year undercover as a dog fighter when he was with the Missouri Highway Patrol. Now he's the director of blood sport investigations for the ASPCA.
It was just such a secretive subculture and stayed in the shadows.
And they come from all walks of life. A high school football coach, a special needs teacher, CEOs, a registered nurse.
And it transcends all social and economic boundaries.
The leader of the animal rescue group we spoke to agrees.
It could be your neighbor, you don't know.
Mills says he and his partners watched 86 dog fights. In 2009, they seized more than 500 dogs. Their case became known as the Missouri 500.
We had way more dogs than we knew what to do with.
Why do people like this?
It's all about money, like most crimes. It's about money. But in this particular crime, ego is a very close second. They all aspire to have a bloodline known to the other dog fighters.
The I-Team wanted to know what changed in the 12 years since Mill's investigation. The Animal Legal Defense Fund analyzes animal protection laws in every state. Illinois fell to number 2 after about 14 years as the state with the best laws. The group has always ranked Missouri somewhere in the middle. It came in at number 34 in 2021.
Do you think that this phenomena, this crime, will ever stop?
It's hard to say that it will ever stop, again, because of that passion that the dog fighters have. But if more people report what they see, it certainly can be curtailed.
In the STL 13 case, an anonymous caller told police about a pit bull chained to a tree non-stop.
Your horror's over.
This is body camera footage from the day officers raided the property.
Can these dogs be saved?
I'm not saying they can't be saved with enough money and time, but rarely does any organization have that kind of money and time.
Back at the rescue, the 3 pit bulls we met passed the test to go home with foster families.
Good kids, good girl. So far, the 3 that we've taken have presented to be very scared, not aggressive, but they have not had a chance to decompress yet, so anything is still possible. They're far from fine. There's no happily ever after.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
The suspect in this case is expected to appear in court October 4th. We have more coverage online, including how to spot dogfighting rings in your neighborhood at KSTK.com.
A live look now at the Gateway Arch. In just a few days, the National Park Service will turn off the lights for 2 weeks. That move is to protect birds migrating south for the winter. About 40% of the nation's waterfowl use the Mississippi River during the spring and fall migration. The arch will go dark on Sunday. The lights will come back on October 3rd.
Scott, what is going on with the birds? You told us, what was it, a week or 2 ago? It looked
Yeah.
like we had a bunch of rain.
The last time we had that cold front come through. You know, and so there's not a cold front coming through for the next few days. End of next week, you'll get a big surge of birds, I'd say probably about Friday. All right, look at this sunset tonight. Beautiful. 84. Our faux fall weather continuing. Our high temperature today was 81. Nowhere near the record high temperatures across the area. And how about this sunset? Take a look at that. Diana over in Bunker Hill sent this in. She's on our Weather Watchers face group. Here we are, Facebook group. You can be a weather watcher. We want to see your pictures. Share them with us. Not much to show you tonight here locally. Everything is west of us. It's going to stay out there and stay to the north of us too. So in St. Louis right now, you're looking at a temperature 74 degrees, the dew point 60. Really nice nights on the way. 50s tonight, mid 60s in town. You can't beat it across the area. Not much happening here. You know, the storm tracks to the north. Let's go to the tropics. There it is. You've got Fiona. The center is actually east of where the clouds are. It is going to probably hold its strength here. 60-mile-per-hour winds. We are going to see tropical storm conditions probably in the Leeward Islands, probably in Puerto Rico. Don't know yet if it's going to impact the U.S. A lot of questions, but it's not going to have any impact on us. And your Friday forecast, can't beat this. Working outside, temperatures back into the upper 80s tomorrow afternoon. Football games tomorrow night. Ahmad, you're going to like this. Yeah, 70s. Around 80 in town when the games kick off. Light winds. Camping this weekend. Well, you're looking good for that too. We got a lot of sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Both days are in the 80s. In town, we're around 90. Here we go. Rain chances north and west of St. Louis. This is the focus this weekend. Up across the Missouri and Iowa border. It stays to our north. Sunday, maybe something tries to sneak into the north of St. Louis. Doubt we're going to get it. 90s here, and then next week, yeah, we're in faux fall right now. 93 on Monday, 94 on Tuesday, 94 on Wednesday. Probably not getting record highs, but getting awfully close. After that, we get a cool down towards the end of next week. Cold front comes through on Thursday, and this is where you'll find the birds. Next weekend, they will take advantage of that northwest wind, and they will come south quickly.
And the arch will be off just in time.
Absolutely.
All right, Scott, thanks. Ahmad is in for Frank, and he's here with sports.
You know, guys, time is ticking for Albert Pujols on his chase for 700. Will he run out of time? Meanwhile, St. Louis City SC showed off their new digs, and you guys will want to stick around to see them.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
Chasing 700 is sponsored by CarShield.
Adam Wainwright told media last night, now that this Battery Mates record is behind them, the club is now focused on catching up with the Braves and Mets. If they are able to do so, the Redbirds could secure a first-round bye in this year's postseason. But there's only one way to catch those teams: win. Miles Michaelis was on the bump tonight, and he probably wishes he could get this pitch back. A solo shot to kick off the scoring, and the bad guys would take a 1-0 lead. Next inning, they tacked on one more and decided to go for another, but they didn't realize that was a bad idea. With Goldie and Yachty leading the charge, the two combined to throw out this red at the plate, and the game remains 2-zip Reds. Now, after making a great play in the field, Goldie decides to keep things rolling inside the batter's box, slaps one down the left field line. It would score 1 run. Donovan was hustling, and he was trying to score the second, but he would be thrown out at home. It would prove to be costly. The Cardinals, they lose by 1, 3-2. Now, before the game, I spoke with Cardinals manager Ali Marmol about the impact Waino, Yachty, and Pujols are having on his club this season. Waino and Yachty breaking records while Pujols chases greatness, just 3 homers shy of 700. Marmol said they're a treat to be around, and they are doing exactly what the organization expected them to do, and that's produce.
Delivering at a high level, and they're allowing us to compete and win. What they've been doing, Yachty and Waino, for a long time, and then Albert's gone on an absolute tear, and it's been a blast to be a part of.
In just under 6 months, the MLS will finally kick off in St. Louis, and St. Louis City SC will have envy of the league when it comes to a stadium and training facility. City SC unveiled their new team headquarters and training facility today, and it's one of a kind. The club is one of the only one in the world to have everything centrally located together in the city. Of course, it's got all the bells and whistles, and those leading the charge plan on fusing the facilities, crowd, and team play on the field to make St. Louis one of the toughest places for opposing teams to visit.
I'm convinced 100% that we will be one of the most difficult teams to play against. It doesn't mean you win all the games. But whenever a team comes to St. Louis and sees the Arch, they should say, like, we don't want to be here. We don't enjoy it here. And that, again, looking just behind, there's the Blues, there's the Cardinals. They've done that to perfection.
I like where he's going. After beating Virginia last week, the Illini have the weekend off before taking on Chattanooga a week from today. Well, not everyone will get a few days off. Coach Bielema says he's challenging his special teams units to get better every day, so they have some work to do this week. Just like defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. A year ago, his unit ranked 30th in total defense, but they failed to win 6 Big Ten games. This year, those contests are called revenge games, and Coach B says Walters is 1-0, but has a long ways to go.
I'm really excited to see our defense respond to the challenges of this year that we had last year against common opponents, right? And the first answer came back pretty soundly. Obviously Virginia was a different offensive scheme, but that checkmate was there. Our next rematch game coming up on the schedule for our defense will be, at Wisconsin, and then to have a home game here against Iowa.
More football. Since the Rams left, I know we have a lot of Chiefs fans in the area. Tonight, they took on the Chargers on Amazon Prime. Down 10, Pat Mahomes and company start chipping away at the lead with this touchdown toss to Justin Watson. Now, after the Chiefs tied it up, the Chargers threatened to take the lead until Justin Herbert gets picked off by Jalen Watson. He goes the other way for a pick 6, and KC goes on for the win, 27-24. And that'll do it for sports tonight. And Mike, back to you guys.
Ahmad, thank you.
Well, your eyes are not deceiving you. The reason some drivers got to fill up their tanks on some throwback prices from the 80s.
Bed Bath & Beyond has announced the first wave of stores to close this year. That includes the Fairview Heights and Carbondale locations. The home goods chain announced earlier this year it would close about 150 stores and lay off 20% of its employees.
Gas prices in Hollywood may have some people thinking they went back in time. As part of the promotional push for NBC's Quantum Leap, the station leaped backwards to 1985 prices. That was 91 cents a gallon. Some lucky drivers were able to buy up to 10 gallons at that throwback price. Quantum Leap, by the way, premieres Monday at 9 right here on 5 on Your Side. And there you have it, 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
He has Fred Armisen, Letitia Wright, and David Blaine. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great Friday.